What up, folks? Once again, it's your boy Tim. Got another ride sharing gem for you today. As you can see, this video is titled "All Money Ain't Good Money," an old classic phrase from my street gambling days, if you know what I mean. So what do I mean by all money ain't good money in ride sharing? Well, if you follow the channel, and I do encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you'll be notified when I'm dropping these videos. I showed a video last week of the earnings guarantees in my market that were being offered by Lyft. Now, I hadn't driven in almost a year. I've been a rideshare driver since 2014, so I know the business quite well, off and on between jobs, etc., etc. However, due to Lyft and Uber literally cutting back all bonuses, cutting back all streak bonuses, all their promotions, things like that, all of that was cut out. So anyone driving in my market is driving for base fare. And I've made several videos telling you, if there's one thing you do not do in this market, in this business, is drive for base fare. The reason is clear. It is not worth it. You are losing money driving for base fare, and eventually you will go bankrupt, because if you're driving for base fare, you're not making enough to put money aside for car repairs, incidentals, and things like that. So do not drive for base fare. I say that in every video. Once they started offering promos, streak bonuses, and things like that, now my ears are open and I'm willing to listen. So I made a video. They were offering, I believe it was $225 for 16 rides. In my market, we make 72 cents a mile base fare. Don't drive for that shit. But they offered $225 if you do 16 rides. Well, $225 divided by 16, I believe, was like an average of $14 per ride. Obviously, if you're driving at a base of 72 cents a mile, you're going to drive somebody a hell of a lot of miles before you equal 14 bucks. So in my market, that was a great incentive to get folks back out driving. Yours truly, I got out there and actually made like 500 bucks in like 11 hours of driving. So it was certainly worth it. Well, anyway, here's what I mean by all money ain't good money. The following week after doing that, here's what they're offering. As you can see on the screen, $10, they will give you $10 for 10 rides. So you can do your 10 rides, and whatever you would earn doing those 10 rides, which is not going to be shit if you're doing it at base fare like they're expecting you to do. But after you complete those 10 rides, they'll give you an additional $10, which essentially boils down to we'll give you an extra $1 per ride. I cannot emphasize any stronger how much this is not worth shit. This is all money ain't good money right in your face. That $10 is not good money. I've said it before, driving for base fare with Lyft or Uber is such low pay that even adding $1 per ride is not making it worth it at all. So that's a good example of an incentive that falls into the category of all money ain't good money. Now, if you notice, after you complete the first 10 rides, they continue with a second incentive. Now they're offering you $10 for 5 rides. Okay, they just doubled the amount they're paying you, but they doubled shit. So now you're getting, $10 for 5 rides, you're getting an additional $2 per ride. That's still very low. Certainly not enough for yours truly to take on the endeavor. And by the way, you can't get the $10 for 5 rides unless you complete the first $10 for 10 rides, which to me is a loss. So both incentive 1 and 2 are bad. Now, if you complete those 2 incentives, as you see toward the end, they got $15 for 5 rides. Now we're talking an additional $3 per ride. At that point, it does start to become worth it in some markets. If they're adding on $3 for every ride you do. So if you do 5 rides, you're guaranteed. Well, you're not guaranteed to make $15. They'll give you an additional 15 bucks. So that's when it starts to be worth it. However, in this particular promotion, you don't get to that level until you've already done 15 rides at those lower rates that I just showed you there. So this is a prime example of all money ain't good money. Meaning that if you do a total of 20 rides, The first promotion is 10 for 10, 10 for 5, 15 for 5. So you have to do a total of 20 rides, and they're giving you an additional $35. That's not even averaging $2 per ride. When you really average all that out, 10, 10, and 15, that's $35 for 20 rides. It's not worth it. In my opinion, while fuel prices are still kind of high, I would say you want at least $4 to $5 extra per ride. And that is being offered in some markets with some surges. But even $15 for 5, that's an additional 3 rides. I'm still not a big fan of that. I came out when they were giving $15 for 3 rides. You do a streak bonus. You do 3 rides in a row and they'll give you $15. Now you're talking $5 extra per ride. They were doing that late last year, and I worked several months doing that. I would come home from work and do just 3 rides. The rides themselves, I showed you on my screen, that rides in my market are only paying, I mean, at 72 cents a mile, my average passengers are traveling between 1, 5, maybe 6 miles maximum. Somebody gets in a vehicle, they are going to a destination that's generally no more than 1 to 6 miles away. So if you take 72 cents per mile and multiply it by, say, 6 miles maximum, that's barely $5. And I showed you my particular earnings when I was doing the earnings guarantee, and it was a screen full of $3 and $4, $5 fares. You don't make a lot doing this, $3, $4, $5 per trip. So there's no way you're going to be out here earning decent money at base fare. That's why I keep saying over and over again, do not drive for base fare. But I wanted to run this by you because I strongly feel like all money ain't good money. Let me know in your markets, what have they started to offer? Because every market doesn't, obviously every market is not doing the same thing. They are trying to encourage more drivers to get back out here. These rideshare companies are hurting, mainly because they got into the stock market and now they have to answer to shareholders and things like that. And this doesn't work very well for the simple fact that the pay to the drivers is so low that the only way they can continue guaranteeing customers have rides available for them is to have an endless string of new drivers joining on. I think the average time that a driver stays on is about 6 months. And that's what I'm telling you, like in my own personal case. I've been off and on since 2014, but it's always only been when they're offering streaks or some kind of bonus. At regular rates, my 6 months time with ride sharing ended a long time ago. I learned that when I first got in. I realized I wasn't making shit, and I quit. But then they start offering you, well, you do this and we'll give you all this extra money. Then yeah, I'll come back for that. But at regular rates, my 6 month time expired a long time ago. So what's going on in your market? Have you seen any change in the promotional guarantees, streak bonuses, or anything like that in your market? Because I'm assuming if you are a smart, intelligent driver that wants to have finances set aside for breakdowns and things like that, you are taking my advice and not driving for base fares. Anyhow, it's your boy Tim. Appreciate you watching the video. Subscribe, click the bell, notifications. Definitely drop your boy a like. It helps my algorithms, and post a comment. I respond to all comments. Catch you later.